I thought you just took a whole bunch of pictures of you. Could be worse things.
Snapshots of being different projects. That'd be nice. Yeah, it's really
So tell us a little bit about the event, and just tell me a bit about the experience, everything you've learned, and everything you've done so far, and how the whole program has helped you.
just like general the classes and anything like that.
Yeah, and how this whole program, and the event. Talk a little bit about the event.
Okay.
Everything that you've gotten out of the program. Anything you think that would motivate other students to follow your steps.
Okay. So I just go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Speak as loud as you can because of
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. So I'd say Algonquin's great opportunity in applied museum studies to get there and experience cultural resources and experience museums firsthand. You get to work a lot with the public. You get to do a lot of hands-on experience. You really get to try out before you work forever in the industry. So it's really good, especially an event like today with our showcase, to mingle. We get networking contacts here. So we're showing off all the experience that we're doing through our internships. So those internships were for 4 months, the last semester of our program, and we were working with cultural institutions as a full-time position. So for example, mine was with the City of Ottawa, and we were working with doing an inventory of their collections so they could update their collections facility and have an updated inventory of what they have in the collection to help their storage and resources there. We also did backlog projects, so going through artifact donations and working with previous donations to get everything under control. We also did a really cool project working on site, so that's a very good experience working on site at Cumberland Heritage Village Museum, opening the Village Museum for the season. So we got to open the different heritage buildings and do something very hands-on, cleaning the buildings, putting artifacts on display after they've been away for the winter. So very hands-on, very good experience all the way. In terms of in-class study, you get to work with tools, hand tools, build your own exhibits, everything from the ground up. So lots of experience for sure. We get to do everything from matting and framing, get your artistic side in there, work with colors, like displays, posters. It's pretty much anything for everyone. So if you like exhibits, or if you like programming, if you like doing conservation, we do a lot of projects with community museums and institutions doing conservation on actual pieces from the community. So different museum pieces doing silver treatments, iron treatments, paper treatments, everything that's actually from the field. So there's a lot of experience there. What else?
I think you said a lot. Did you rehearse it?
No,
Oh, that's pretty
I was
good.
just told not very long ago.
That's pretty good. Okay, so what I'm going to need now, before I forget. Go ahead.
how to use a speaking trumpet and just over here.
Just get you look at me and tell me a little bit about the whole program. Tell me about everything that you've gotten out of the program, the hands-on training, networking.
Do you want me to introduce myself?
What's that?
Do you want me to introduce myself?
Sure.
So I'm Stephanie Germano.
Speak up a little bit because
My name is Stephanie Germano. I took the Applied Museum Studies program after university. I currently work at the Ottawa Art Gallery full-time as the art rental and sales manager. And I took the program maybe 4 years ago, and I found it really helpful because I took art in university, and then I wanted to work in an art gallery. So the university degree wasn't giving me the contacts I wanted, so the hands-on aspect of the program and the contacts it gave me ended up giving me my job. So I did my placements at the Ottawa Art Gallery, and now I'm working there full-time. And it's really helpful because now I'm the manager of a small gallery space, and I have to do all types of things like conservation, preservation, and hanging, exhibition displays. So every aspect of the program that they've offered me, I have to do all in one room. So it's really helpful. And now as to support the program, we take interns yearly, and we always take students to help out with whether or not collections or exhibition practices. That's it.
Tell the aspiring student that wants to take the program how long it is. It didn't take too much of your time. Were you working at the time when you took the program?
Yes, I was. I was
Talk a little bit about that. How easy it is to mix it in with your regular schedule.
Well, it was really easy because I was coming out of university, so they have the opportunity of taking the advanced 2-year stream. But because it was full, I ended up just doing the 3 years because I didn't want to wait the extra year to get in. And it actually went by a lot quicker than I had thought because the classes change and then the students change, and I mean there's different dynamics within each year. So it flew by really quickly, and I was able to work during, and they were really flexible too, because I know sometimes when I was offered part-time positions at certain galleries, they were really good about helping me out if I had to miss classes. They were really understanding because you were trying to get into the same field that you're studying in, so they were really helpful.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to get you to do that one more time. Instead of using they, use alcohol. Okay?
So I have to say that all over again?
No, perfect.
I don't remember what I said. What did we talk
No, but
about?
whatever you said was perfect. Say it again, but use alcohol instead.
So I took the program, and I found it really easy because I came out of university, and I got from college. The Applied Museum Studies program, you can take the advanced 2 years if you come out of a university program, or you can take the 3-year coming out of high school. And I decided to take the 3 years because the 2-year was full, and I just wanted to get it started. I didn't want to wait a year. And Algonquin College is really useful because it went by really quickly, and they were really good about giving me contacts, and I was able to get part-time jobs in the museum field, and the Applied Museum Studies at Algonquin was really helpful if I had to miss classes and to give me the contacts. And even after I graduated, I stayed in contact with the professors, and they're really good about keeping in touch with their students and letting them know of job opportunities and helping them.
Now, just one last thing. Professors, now that you talked about professors, do they have experience in the industry? Are they professionals that actually come from the industry?
Oh yes, they are.
So mention it.
Okay, so most of the good thing about the teachers in the program is a lot of them are coming from many local organizations like cultural institutions or museums or galleries. So helpful because you know you're learning from people who have done the job before. And yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
That's beautiful. No, that's great.
Are we done?
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the networking, the hands-on, and how students can take the program without having to change their life as far as working during the day itself.
Well, the Applied Museum Studies program is really well known for engaging its community partners. I teach the conservation components of the program, and we have a 1,400-foot square lab that's fully equipped. Our students treat artifacts, real artifacts from real institutions. The hands-on is about 70% of their time in the lab. Treaty protocol requires them to communicate with our partners in the field. They develop contractual agreements with them. They undertake historical research of the objects, photo documentation, and then execute treatments of material culture. So how could that lead to them maybe not being away from part-time work? I mean, I gotta be honest with you, it's really difficult to do. Our program is very hands-on and requires students to be in a lab to do their work. So often our students will do 50 to 60 hours a week at school. So it's kind of hard to suggest that they can do
it. Is it a 1 year, 2 year?
It's a 2-year program for those that have a university degree, a 3-year program for those directly out of high school.
So when they graduate with
the students who graduate from our program graduate with an advanced diploma.
And are they mostly day, it's a day program? Or?
It is a day program, no evening courses at all. Most classes will operate from 9 until about 6 o'clock.
And as far as internships, talk a little bit about the internship.
The internship is 15 weeks in duration. Students can undertake internships anywhere in the world, in any field of study they have an interest in. So we have students who will do internships in digital design, exhibit fabrication, collections management, curatorial, conservation, and collections care.
And talk a little bit about the networking aspect of Algonquin. Just 1 second, let me frame up here a little bit. Just going to get to the slide over a little bit more. There you go. Okay. Now talk a little bit about, as far as the networking partners that you have that are receiving the interest, companies and so on.
Okay. We have all of the national institutions in the Ottawa area are partners with the Applied Museum Studies program. So the National Gallery of Canada, the Canadian Museum of Civilization, the Canadian Museum of Science and Technology, the Canadian Air and Space Museum, the Canadian War Museum. So all of our national institutions are partners with us. On top of that, there are 11 regional museums in the city of Ottawa. There are 2 archives. The City of Ottawa just built its brand new archive facility down the road from Algonquin College. And there are over 20 art galleries in the Ottawa area. So this is the city. This is our cultural mecca, and the Applied Museum Studies program is tapped right into that.
Beautiful.
Is that good? Yeah.
Beautiful. Nice way to close.
And what we're trying to do with vocational training in the college system.
And just seeing the exhibits here, I'm absolutely amazed and impressed. You've blown me away. They're much more diverse than I expected. From Ireland, several in the UK, artist-run centers, national museums, a variety of ones. And some of your presentations are really excellent. Mike, I suggest perhaps you think next year of having prizes, awards for the best of the presentations, because there's some really good ones. I've also found that there's a lot of enthusiasm here in the room. Just look at all of you people. So I want to congratulate you and also welcome your mums and dads. I've already had one mom say, now you go and get them jobs right away. So she's doing her work, and I think that's great. It also strikes me that tonight is kind of an important opportunity, because you're kind of bookend between a number of big events that are happening. You know, tomorrow is the House of Love at 6 a.m. if you're getting up to watch that. And of course, we're in the House of Creativity here, the National Gallery, a magnificent institution. And we've also got the House of Politics, which are not far away, and of course Monday is a big day. You're also joining the museum community workforce at a really interesting and perhaps not the easiest of times, because you're starting, unlike my career, I started at the beginning of the building boom. You're coming in at the end of the building boom. But that's not a negative. We've got fabulous institutions across this country, magnificent new galleries and facilities. And the real question is exploiting and taking advantage of those facilities that do exist. The buildings are there. We will see a few more buildings go up, but I think we're really, in pragmatic terms, at the end of a major building cycle. We're also in a period where Canadians are religious about not having a deficit. And federally, we are facing a very large deficit. Whoever wins Monday's election has some very hard decisions in their hands. And cuts are inevitable. Now, my point of view is that museums are extremely important. We've already borne more than our fair share of cuts. And I think it's our responsibility to cultivate and to speak to political authority and to cultivate public appreciation for what we do. I do have a few statistics in my pocket, but I don't think I'll pull them out. But it's useful for you to remember that the world that you're going into, museums are extraordinarily valued and respected by the public. We've done a couple of public opinion polls, and they show 96% of Canadians believe that museums add to the quality of life. 94% say that children should be exposed to museums and their collections, and on it goes. With those kind of statistics, if any political party had those statistics, they would be laughing. If any corporation or industry had that kind of buy-in, it would be great. And yet, we haven't really captured that public support and seen it translated into policy and favorable funding for our sector. That's our challenge, I think. That's a challenge I'd like to leave with you, like you to think about as you join the workforce and get involved. I believe that museums are part of the fabric of the community. They're like libraries, they're like sidewalks, they're even like sewers. Every community's got to have one. But they should be places that you don't go to on a rainy day. You don't go when your mother comes to town. It's a place that should be a part of our daily, that's a bit much, but part of our lives, where issues are discussed and objects are used to help illustrate many of those topics. I've seen that in some of the exhibits here today. So, in short, I'd like to leave you with that. I'd like to congratulate you. I hope you all get jobs. Please go to our website. I know there are about 150 jobs open right now. Many of them are summer student jobs, but there are many other ones that are available. And I also invite you to get involved in the Canadian Museums Association. Please, we welcome you. Our offices are here in Ottawa. Feel free, drop in for a cup of coffee sometime. But our office is your office. You're part of the museum profession, and I want to wish you all the best. Thanks a lot.
So everybody can get back to their canapes and glass of wine, but I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of some other people here as well. The Executive Dean of the Health and Community Studies and Police and Public Safety, Kim Tizik, and the Chair of Community Studies, Kathy Sidorenko, have joined us to celebrate. And I also really want to thank all our field placement supervisors for coming and to mingle with us as a crowd. So really this is also meant to be a networking opportunity so that we can see just the breadth of the involvement that our students have within the museum community. I also really want to thank a number of people who donate awards to the program. So we have a number of different sort of prestigious awards that people get within the Applied Museum Studies program. So there's an award, the Ontario Museum Association Award of Merit, and the recipient of that is Kira Brown this year. The Historical Society of Ottawa has an award, and this year it's Melanie Hugron. The Ottawa Art Gallery Conservation Award is Colleen Morrison. Yeah, I know I can't see that. Okay, the Applied Museum Studies Preservation Award is Scott McCreary. The Ottawa Hunt and Golf Club Award is Caitlin Picard. And I think it's the final one, which is the AMS Technical Service Award to Marina Pisa. So in addition to congratulating all those award winners, I would also like to thank all the people who were nominated as well, because those choices are not easy ones to make, and there was a much longer list of nominees. Okay, and also thanking our community partners who are donating those kind of awards. That really, is a testament to that community partnership again. The other thing that I would like to do is just acknowledge the support of the National Gallery of Canada for the venue, okay, of which we wouldn't be able to have an event such as this without this kind of an atmosphere, so I'm very, very appreciative that they allowed us to have it here. The event staff and also KW Catering for those tasty canapes. On that note, I think I'll just let everybody get back to mingling and enjoying that, but please welcome, and we're very happy that you're here. Thank you.
Document about the networking, the hands-on, everything.
Okay, so the program is focuses on essentially a general overview of all museums, of all the museum world, management, education, programming, conservation, collections, things like that. So it's good to have the whole thing to study with. My focus is in conservation, so what I like to do is in conservation at least. So that's what I really focused on, and I heard about the award, and I was lucky enough to have actually a fellow student nominate me for it, so that was really nice to get the recognition from someone else. I like conservation because it's really hands-on. You get to work with the artifacts hands-on. So another great thing about this program, being in Ottawa and everything, is that you get to work with a lot of artifacts and go to museums like the National Gallery here and see artifacts firsthand on display and get to do things with museums firsthand. So it's great in that sense too. The award itself that I'm winning, the Preservation Award, it's focused on experience through preservation of artifacts in conservation, and it's essentially just experience with making sure those artifacts don't degrade in the environment, and through treatment and preventative conservation, things like that. So yeah.
And employment opportunity?
Employment opportunities.
Yeah, I mean the internship, did it lead to an employment opportunity?
The internship. Well, I'm a second year, so I haven't done the internship yet. But
So talk a little bit about that. I mean, how many years the program offers?
Sure.
Talk about everything you learned in your first year, your second year.
Yeah.
How many years is the program? Are you coming back for another year?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about all this.
So the program's 3 years. I actually skipped the first year because there's a chance for people who have done their university degree already to get bumped into the second year. So I was lucky enough to be one of those few. But the first year is just a general overview of writing and research and stuff like that to get students ready, prepared to get into the second year of the program, so the second year really is where you start off and you really dive into the museum stuff, and like I said before, it's just a lot of a general overview of the whole museum world. In the second year with conservation, you focus on organic and inorganic materials when you're treating them, cleaning them. You also focus on a lot of design work, so everything that you see here today with the panels, you focus on how to use Photoshop and Illustrator to do that. You also focus on collection management, how to properly archive artifacts using inventories and things like that. And then the third year, you have one more semester doing that, continuing on with that education, and then you have your internship, which obviously you have to do a lot of research for. So.
How long is the internship for?
It's for a full semester, so January through to April. No, it's great.
Have you thought about where you're going to do your internship?
A few places. I haven't really narrowed anything down, but I want to focus on conservation. So.
Can you mention the places that you'd like to do?
Places that I would like to look into, Parks Canada would be one. Wellington County Museum Archives back home is another one. Those are the two that I've thought of right now. So.
Back home, where's back home?
Back home is Guelph, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you suggest that anybody take this program?
This program, I think it's a great balanced program. You get to see everything in the museum.
When you say that, start again, but mention Algonquin College.
Oh, sure. Okay, so the reason I believe that people should take the Applied Museum Studies program at Algonquin College is because it's a really balanced program that focuses on all facets of the museum world. Educational programming, collections management, conservation, museum management, exhibit design, things like that, and fabrication. So yeah, you get to see everything.
Do you find that there's a lot of hands-on? Because that's what a lot of people like about the different programs.
Yes. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the hands-on and then the actual networking about how you can meet people here.
Sure. Yeah. So
thanks, Algonquin.
Yeah. So for conservation, you do get to work with a lot of artifacts that are loaned from local museums and surrounding areas. So you do get that hands-on experience of cleaning actual artifacts and not just like not fake things, but just you get to work with real artifacts that belong to museums. In exhibition classes, you get to work with woodworking tools and things like that to fabricate things like crates to protect artifacts. You get to build things like presentation boards and panels. You get to design them on the computers. In collections management, you get to actually register artifacts into the Applied Museum Studies program inventory of the artifacts that they have on campus.
And as far as the networking goes, for job opportunities.
Networking's great. The program is really, they do a great job of bringing a lot of guest speakers in so you can meet them, taking you to organizations for field trips and things like that, as well as hosting events that are going on in Ottawa and things like that, so you can get out and you can meet people and introduce yourself. And same deal with this internship is any instructor here would bend over backwards to help you find a great place to go and meet people.
And touching on that, talk about how the instructors or the professors have experience in the industry.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I haven't talked to a lot of them about their experience, but they have mentioned that they've worked in the museum field, some for over 20 years, and it's great to have people who have hands-on experience and really love what they do to teach the students at college. So, good.
Nice.